What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Too Pop to Handle. I'm your host, Andrew Nucatola, your pop culture best friend. And as always, I hope you guys are having a fabulous week. I know I sure am. And before we go into this episode, before we dive in and just start chit-chatting, doing our thing, I just want to put out a disclaimer and let you guys know, gird your loins and be prepared for some BDE on this episode. Big Dua energy, which is not a bad thing. Trust me, a world in which Dua Lipa is at the forefront of every conversation, that's a world I want to live in. Like, that is a utopia. But I just wanted to, give you guys a disclaimer. Of course, there are other things that we're going to talk about. Gypsy Rose having her hot gypsy summer, just like we predicted, selling the OC because I did, in fact, start the season and finish the season all within a 24-hour time period. So we have other things. But while I was like prepping for the episode and writing out my outline, I was like, and Dua Lipa again, Dua Lipa again, Dua Lipa again and again. Not a bad thing, but just some BDE coming your way. So just buckle up and prepare. But before we hop into some pop culture things, let's hop into the weekend because it was a fabulous one. And I had this moment on Saturday morning. So we kicked off the weekend. We relaxed on Friday night because we knew we had an exciting Saturday. And then Saturday morning, we were like, let's go out. Let's do a bike ride before our festivities, which we'll get into in a minute. But we went for a bike ride, through Central Park, which we don't do often, which is totally on my fault. And also, when I say we, I mean Thomas and I. If you're a new listener, hello. If you couldn't tell by the vocal fry, I am gay. Thomas is my boyfriend. So when I say we, that's typically who I'm referring to. And I don't love biking. Okay. I also, if you're new here, I go on a lot of tangents. But that being said, it's not that I don't like going on bike rides, it's that I get nervous with the cars, it's a whole lot. So in the summer, if you don't know, in Manhattan, they do these things called summer streets, and they pretty much close down Park Ave, and you can ride up and down, no cars, like it's beautiful. That is my shit. I love it. There's no cars, don't have to worry about oncoming traffic. All you have to worry about is you and other bikers around you. But when you throw cars into the equation, buses, cabs, a pedicab, like you never know what's going to happen. So I do kind of steer away from city biking, but Thomas loves to go on a bike ride. So he pitched it Saturday. He was like, "Hey, what if we did a bike ride through Central Park? It's beautiful." And I was like, "You know what? Let's do it. Why not?" So we hopped on some city bikes, drove through the park, and it was so much fun. I was like, "I am so sorry that I have been not doing this more often with you. Like, let's start doing it more." It was so much fun. But the reason I'm telling you about this is because I had this moment. I was riding through the park, and if you don't know, I have lived in New York my whole life. I lived on Long Island literally until 3 years ago. And then 3 years ago, literally next week, I moved to Manhattan, which is literally, it was always my dream, always my goal. Like, all I wanted was to like figure out a way to live in Manhattan since I was 5 years old, really. My aunts lived in the city when I was growing up. My one aunt still lives in the city. She's lived here literally my whole life. Like, I don't remember a world in which she didn't live in Manhattan. And I grew up coming to the city to visit her, coming to concerts here. Like, I was never a far train ride away. So when I moved here and now that I live here and have my roots planted, like, I'm like, oh, cool. Like, yeah, I live in New York and like, it is what it is. But I don't often have moments of like, holy shit, I live in Manhattan. Like, this is all I wanted. Like, 10 years ago, if you would have asked, like, what's your dream in life? It would have been like, I don't care what it is. I just want to live in Manhattan. And, life happens. Whatever. It is what it is. So I moved here a little bit later than I wanted to, but now I've been here just about 3 years and I was riding through the park and I had this moment. I was like looking around, taking it all in, and I saw the carousel on the like east side of the park. And I was like, oh my God, I used to go in that carousel when I was like 6 years old. That was like my favorite thing to do. And I rode past it, and I don't know why, it just like hit me in that moment. I was like, holy shit, you live in Manhattan, you live in New York, you did it. Like, this was always your biggest goal. You only ever wanted to live in Manhattan. Like, there was no other option, no other place for me to go, and I'm doing it. Like, it's kind of crazy. I don't know. It to some people, it's just like, all right, cool, yeah, you live in the city. Who doesn't live in New York? But to me, I was like, wait, that's like we should celebrate our accomplishments. You know what I mean? And like coming up on 3 years here, it's not easy. It's not easy living in New York. It's not cheap. I moved here with like literally no money. Not that I'm loaded now, but like I moved here with substantially less amount of money than I have now, and I just figured it out. I just you do what you got to do. They always say, like, if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. And that is a fact. So I don't know. I was like, I need to just chit chat about this on the podcast. So in case you are in a place where you're like, I don't want to be here. Like, I have bigger dreams, want to do something, keep it up. You'll do it. It'll happen when how it's supposed to happen. Just let the world happen. And it was just like a cute little moment. And I hate getting sappy, but I had to, you know what I mean? It was just like, I feel like this is the place to do it, you know? It's our FaceTime. So just wanted to share that fun little tidbit. I don't know, it was just cute. And I was like, the girl's gonna eat this up on the podcast. And then Saturday afternoon, we finished our bike ride, came home, showered, and changed because we had a hot date with two of my best friends and my best friend's boyfriend. We went to Anejo in Tribeca for Ashley's birthday, and my other best friend being Jacqueline. We went out to brunch, did our thing, just girls being girls. And let me just tell you, if you are looking for a sick brunch deal, like a steal for your money, go to Anejo in Tribeca. It was $55. And now hear me out. $55 got you unlimited French toast, unlimited chips and guac, and bottomless drinks of your choice from like margaritas, mimosas, sangria, Bloody Maria, so like a Bloody Mary with tequila, just like literally, and an entree, all for $55. I was like, you don't get that in New York, like, let alone Tribeca. I was like, is this a joke? Like, where's the hidden fee? And sure enough, check came and it was $55 and it was all delish. I loved it. The drinks were flowing. We had a fabulous time. So again, happy birthday to Miss Ashley. It's always fun. I always like I think of this every year when it comes up. My birthday is April 6th and her birthday is May 5th. Our birth and we're the same year, both 95 babies, and we are literally 30 days apart. Like our birthdays April 6th, May 5th. 30 days. I'm like, wow, it was like meant to be that we're best friends. So, yes, very fabulous Saturday. We ended up going back to her apartment, hanging out on the roof. We played some Family Feud because, like, what else do you do on a Saturday night with your high school best friends? And then we watched some fireworks over the Statue of Liberty. Again, just like a very quintessential New York moment. I was like, what the hell? I live in New York. I don't know. Very common theme of the weekend, as you'll see as we get into Sunday. So that was Saturday. And then we got home Saturday night and we were like, you know what? Let's start selling the OC. Because honestly, I forgot it was even coming out, which I was very excited seeing the trailer for it. Not me hitting the mic. When the trailer came out at the end of whatever, season 7, season 8 of Selling Sunset all those months ago, it looked so good this season. And I was like, okay, wait, I'm seated. I think I talked about it on the podcast. I was like, this is going to be a sick season. And then it just kind of went like off the record. There was no teasers, no date. I guess we must have gotten an announcement date and I missed it, which usually I'm pretty on top of it, but I don't know, it flew under the radar. But the season did come out on Friday, so we binged it Saturday and into Sunday. And we will talk about a whole breakdown of the season later. I have a lot of thoughts, mainly that like every man on the season is a giant loser, but we'll get into that in a bit. So we been selling the LC, then we were in the middle of a Monopoly game, and we knew from a little birdie, which the bird being Dua Lipa's team, that she was doing a surprise show Sunday night. We didn't know where, we had an inkling. So last week when I went to go see Dua with Drew Barrymore, her team told us in line, they were like, we're not going to tell you much, but next Sunday, May 5th, keep your evening open because she's doing a surprise performance in central Manhattan. So they were like, don't tweet it, don't tell anyone. That's why I didn't talk about it in the podcast last week because I also didn't know if I was going to go because central Manhattan, I immediately figured Times Square. So I was like, am I going to brave Times Square on a Sunday night? And I did. So we were literally mid Monopoly game, and I knew it was going to be at like 8 o'clock. So 6:30 came around. I was like, let me get changed, start getting ready, and then I can head out whenever it happens. I literally, it's like Dua Lipa knew. I stood up from the table to go get changed, and I got the text about where the performance was. So I got changed, headed to Times Square, found Nicole. Yes, it was raining. Yes, it was not my smartest decision, but you do what you got to do. When Dua Lipa calls, you answer. And we headed to Times Square. Well, actually, I just headed to Times Square. Thomas was like, I'm not doing that, which, again, I don't blame him. Going out in the rain, it's a big ask, but for Dua Lipa, I would do it. So I got to Times Square. I found my friend Nicole. We hung out. We waited for like an hour, I would say, before she came out. And it was so cool. She performed literally on a truck in the middle of Times Square. Again, so quintessential New York. Like a Sunday night in Times Square watching Dua Lipa perform on a truck right after she just finished her SNL performance the night before, which we will talk about SNL in a bit. But just like, again, such a New York weekend. Like it just felt very, very like I don't know, so New York. I mean, I was riding through Central Park. I went out to brunch and watched fireworks over the Statue of Liberty. I watched Dua Lipa in Times Square. Like I was just having this like in a New York minute moment, and I was loving it. I was like, this is why you moved to Manhattan. This is why you come here. Which, that being said, we're full. Don't move here. We don't have space. The renting situation here is already too much. So this is not me telling you, come on over. I'm just telling you how great it is here. Sorry. That being said, it was a fabulous weekend and Dua was amazing. Who's surprised? She, like I said, performing in a truck. It was just like literally like an 18-wheeler in the middle of Times Square. It was on 42nd Street. Just like so quintessential New York. She did 4 songs, so she did 3 singles, and then she did Happy for You, and it was just great. She looked great, she sounded great. It was just a fabulous little event. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing else to say. It's Dua Lipa, BDE. I can't get enough. And with that, let's head into our first segment because of course we start every single show with my Drew Releases segment, which is our new releases from last week and our new releases coming up this week. And obviously, we've already mentioned it, but Dua Lipa has dropped her third studio album, Radical Optimism, and it is a smash. It is so good. I love it. I will say from the jump, it is not better than Future Nostalgia. Future Nostalgia is a perfect. I mean, this is a great album too, but it Future Nostalgia is going to take a lot to top that. Just in general, that album is incredible and I love it. I mean, her first album, Dua Lipa, self-titled, is incredible too, but Future Nostalgia is just like that girl. But Radical Optimism is that girl's twin sister. I absolutely love this album. It is so much fun. There's a tweet going around that it's like, Dua Lipa makes music for hot people, so if you don't get it, that's on you. I was like, oh, so true. It was like 70, almost 80 degrees today in New York, and I was walking to go get a coffee on my lunch break. It was like the sun was shining. I had it playing in my headphones. I was like, Dua Lipa literally makes music for this weather. Dua Lipa's music is meant to be played in the summer with the sun beating down. You got your shades on, you're going to get a drink, whether it's an iced coffee, a margarita, whatever it may be. This is what Dua Lipa makes music for. And the girls that get it, they get it. If you don't, that's on you. Maybe go to an ENT, get your ears checked. I don't know, because I love this album. Now, I think I might do a Drew Releases episode, which if you don't know, I will do special episodes dedicated to a full album where I go track by track. I've done 2. I've done Cowboy Carter and Tortured Poets Department. I always bring a guest on, and I have 2 people in mind that I think I might do it with. I have to figure out a time. Your boy's busy, but I think I want to go track by track for this one. I mean, A, the album is 37 minutes long. It'll be a quick episode. But B, I really, really love this album. I love the sound of it. I love the feel of it. We've talked about this a few weeks ago, but a lot of people were confused about like the visual aspect of it. Like it's supposed to be like this psychedelic kind of album, but she's in the ocean on the cover. And with that, again, I will say, who cares? Dua Lipa does not make bad music. She hasn't started her career with a bad song, and she's not going to start. Don't start now. She's not going to start making bad music now. Who cares what the album concept is? The album is incredible. I absolutely love it. I think my top 3 as of right now are These Walls, End of an Era, and Anything for Love. But again, there's not a song on the album that I dislike. I love the way Anything for Love starts out kind of slow and then picks up. It just has like this album feels so well, I don't even know the word, but the album just like makes me feel good. Like it's just like feel good, fun music. Again, it's crying on the dance floor. She's said this a few times. Like this album is very much like upbeat music, but the lyrics are kind of sad. Like These Walls, I like sit there doing like a little 2-step and I'm like, oh, it's literally saying that she's gonna have a breakup. Like it's very sad. Anything for Love. Like remember when we used to do Anything for Love? Like the messaging is definitely not happy, upbeat throughout the album, but the tempo is there, the beat is there. It is so fun. Dua Lipa, you will always be famous. Dua Lipa can't make a bad song. It's like the tagline of this podcast by now. I feel like I say it at least once a week. I'm obsessed. I absolutely love this album. If you haven't listened to it, make sure you go over and listen to it. It's very short. It's like half an hour long. You can listen to it once through and be good to go. But I love, love, love this song. Another smash. And a lot of people are always like, oh my God, like, what's your favorite 3 album run? Let's talk about Dua Lipa's 3 album run because the girl has 3 albums and they're all fantastic. That's how you do a 3 album run. You start with a great album and you just continue releasing great albums through your career. You'll never have a bad run. Well, like it's simple. She's cracked the code. She is a perfect pop star. I love the bitch, and we have a lot more duo to talk about throughout the episode. So I'm gonna put a pin in it for now. And if you are interested in an episode of me just diving into the album track by track, shoot me a DM, drop a comment, let me know, like tweet me, however, let me know if you're interested in it, and I will. That'll give me a little fire under my ass to get that episode going and figure it out. And then we had another really, really exciting release. If you've been listening to the podcast for the last few weeks, you know that I have recently been obsessed with Rachel Chinariri. She is kind of a smaller artist from the UK, but she has like a big online following, or like a decently sized online following. But I have been loving all of the singles that she has put out for her album, What a Devastating Turn of Events. And the album has finally come out. It dropped on Friday, which, again, there's so much music coming out this year. It is very overwhelming. So, like, to digest all of these albums is a lot. But this Friday, I knew these 2 albums. I was clearing my queue. I was not listening to anything but these 2 albums for the next few days between Friday and now, Tuesday, when I'm recording, because I was like, I need to digest these albums, really take them in, and have like full formed thoughts about these albums because I've been hyping them up so much that I was like, I can't come on and be like, well, I didn't listen to it because no. I fully immersed myself and I am loving this album from Rachel. It is fantastic. Like I said, she is a bit of a smaller artist, but she is packing a punch on this debut album. I love it. I think my top 3 from this is Dumb Bitch Juice, which, I mean, the title alone, I was like, we have all sipped on some Dumb Bitch Juice in our life. Dumb Bitch Juice, Robbed, and then Never Need Me, which is the first song of her that I actually heard, and I instantly was hooked. I can't get enough of this song. I wanted to do 3 songs that didn't include singles like I did with Dua, but I love Never Need Me so much. If you listen to any song from this album, make it be Never Need Me by Rachel Chinariri because it is a perfect song. It's one of those songs like when it comes on, I need to listen to it twice, sometimes 3 times because I'm like, wait, I need to soak that in again. I love it so much. This album is fantastic. Like I said, this is her debut album, so it is her first baby out into the world, which I can only imagine like your first album is it's your first album, it's your first baby for her to be releasing this and like putting it out into the world. She's had EPs and things like that before, but this is her first like actual album she's releasing. So just so exciting to see an artist kicking off their career. She's been making music for quite some time, but this is really like her first step, I feel like, into this scene, and she's fantastic. Go check her out. I'm sure you will find at least one song in the album you will love, if not the entire album. And that wraps up our releases from last week. Again, just wonderful, incredible, fantastic music from these ladies this year. 2024 has been such a crazy year for music. And we're not even done. We still let's do a little run through of what we have left. We have Billy, we have Charli, we have Normani. SZA's supposed to be releasing her deluxe Lana whenever. Who knows if that's ever coming? Who else do we have this year? I feel like I'm forgetting someone. Oh, we're gonna get a new Miley track soon. Like, there's so much music coming out still, and we've already gotten releases from like everybody, and uh, it's insane. I feel like in June I'm gonna do like a bonus episode of just like ranking all of the albums from the year because there's been so much, and I really by June I feel like I'll be able to really take it all in, really just like soak it all up. And I think I might do like a special bonus Drew releases episode of just like going through each album, ranking them, giving my full thoughts like now that we've had them for a while. So again, stay tuned for that. Lots of ideas in this little brain of mine. Lots of wheels turning, lots of things going on up here. So I think that might be something coming. But that being said, we do have some music coming out this Friday coming up. No albums, which is nice. It's nice to get a breather. As much as I'm loving all this music, getting a week where there's no music or like no albums at least and just singles, I will take. We have Charli XCX releasing 360, which is the opening track of her album Brat coming out in June. And we've actually heard the song on TikTok before, not the full track, but a bit of it, which if it's anything like Von Dutch, we've probably heard most of it. And then we have a Megan Thee Stallion releasing Boa on Friday, which I don't know if she's releasing an album before she kicks off her tour because the tour starts very soon. And it doesn't seem like she is, but we're getting a single on Friday, so let's see what they have in store. You guys know I love me some Charli, I love me some Megan, so I'm sure I'm gonna love both tracks. We will chat about them next week. And that wraps up our Drew releases from the week. We will talk about those two singles next week. And now let's dive into some more just general pop culture topics. And I mean, the topic on everybody's lips today, the first Tuesday of May, the Met Gala. Yesterday was Met Gala Monday, which is always just like such an exciting day to be a pop culture girly and to be chronically online because it's like everybody turns into the fashion police. I love nothing more than sitting on the couch in my pajamas and judging everybody's like fashion couture looks while I look like a slob on the couch. It makes me so happy. And if you follow me on Instagram, which A, if you're not following me on Instagram, what are you doing? Go over and follow at 2pop the handle right now. You already know some of my takes on these looks, but obviously we have to break it down. But before that, let's just go through the theme again so everybody is up to date and make sure everyone, is on their Zoom clocked in. So the theme, or rather, the dress code this year was Garden of Time, but the theme of the art exhibit that they unveiled was Sleeping Beauty's Reawakening Fashion. So the whole art exhibit is supposed to be like a tribute to seeing some of the old archival pieces that were only worn once, and they're kind of giving them a new life. So these pieces that have been, for lack of a better word, asleep for all these years, these sleeping beauties, are coming back to life in this new Met exhibit. It looks actually really incredible. I saw these clips of it. They had some influencers there the other day just doing some like quick content to, show off the exhibit. And they have like some like there's like sensory things. You can like feel some of the fabrics. I guess they have swatches of it. They have like scratch and sniff walls or something it looked like really cool, just like ways to kind of immerse yourself into this exhibit. So I definitely want to check that out. That's one of the cool things about the Met Gala is like after it happened, you can go see the exhibit and like really take in what the theme of the night was. I think for a while it is only open to VIP members, which understandably they pay a lot of money to be a member of the Met, so let them have it first. But I definitely want to go check this out because this exhibit looks so cool. But so the dress code was Garden of Time, and there's a lot of back and forth online, me included, of just like people who don't understand the theme. But I do think a lot of people took the theme of the exhibit over the dress code this year and went with more like archival or like homages to archival pieces and kind of went that more like couture fashion versus the Garden of Time, which I don't know how I feel, to be honest, because I thought Garden of Time was such a fun theme to go with because you can really do a lot with it. I love the girls who went with the time aspect, Kiki Palmer, Tyla, that time aspect of like, literal time, but then also people went the garden route with the floral route, and we had uh, Nicki Minaj. Oh, incredible! I don't want to give too much away of like my thoughts yet, but knocked it out of the park. But Nicki, Jessica Biel, so many people went really fun with the florals, and then some people just kind of like went and looked pretty, which I'm not mad about. I love a pretty look, but let's hop in to, some of the nitty gritty of it. First and foremost, I thought the carpet looked so cool. The way they did like the white down the middle, the traditional white steps, but then like the green along the sides. I did have somebody DM me and say that it looked like mold, and I was cracking up because like it did kind of look like mold, but when you don't have someone in your ear telling you it looks like mold, it looked really, really cool. And then they had like the vines up and down the staircase, so it really added to that like Garden of Time. And when I saw that, I was like, oh my god, all of these floral pieces are gonna look sick. And they did. The floral pieces looked sick, but the people who didn't get the theme, they just looked pretty standing in front of some vines, which is fine. I will take it. But going on, I think the best way to do this, I'm going to go through my best dressed, my worst dressed, and then I have some rapid fire things I want to go through. So let's hop in to my best dressed. First and foremost, no surprise, Zendaya. Not only did she look stunning when she showed up to be a co-chair of the Met Gala, she walked the carpet a second time. And not only did she have a second look where she walked the carpet, she changed for a third time inside the gala. Who is doing it like Zendaya and La Roche? Nobody. They are a fashion match made in heaven. I am obsessed with everything they do. Zendaya has never looked bad a day in her life, and La Roche has never dressed anybody less than a 20 out of 10. It was perfect every single time. All three looks were so unique. All three looks she looked stunning in. And I mean, like, to to get ready for the Met Gala in itself is an event. To go to the Met Gala and wear three different outfit changes, and not just outfit changes, she changed her hair, she changed her makeup. It was a full transformation, which you would, I mean, if anyone's gonna go balls to the walls, it's gonna be Zendaya, especially the year that she's the co-chair. But like, the girl went all out. She is just like on top of the world right now. She kind of always is. Like it kind of is in Daya's world and I'm living in it. But like she from Dune 2 to the Challengers to now this, like she has just been on like press run after press run, eating these looks up, making these other bitches look like they are literally picking things out of a clearance bin and walking the carpet. Like she just, ugh, I'm obsessed. I am obsessed with Zendaya. She is one of my absolute favorites from the night in all three looks. I can't even pick a favorite because I loved all of them. So Zendaya, not that you need to know, but like, bitch, you killed it. My next one is actually somebody who famously I didn't know who they were. I am not a fashion girly. Like I going through this, you're gonna see like I don't know designers, and that's just not my shtick. I can appreciate, a gorgeous garment. I can appreciate things like that, but I'm not good at knowing, oh, that person does this, that person does that. So like I don't know fashion designers. I know the names, I don't know like their styles and what they do. I would say I wish I did, but I'm not. Like, I'm not somebody who's into fashion like that. Sue me, I guess. I don't know, whatever. But this next person is actually a fashion designer, and it is Harris Reed. She had one of the most incredible Met Gala looks. She was the one, I will post it on Instagram because I'm literally obsessed with it. It was like the green, it was like a green look. She had a headpiece that had these like things coming out of it. It was just like this stunning work of art that she was wearing. And that is how you go to the Met Gala. You're not going to the Oscars. You're not going to the VMAs. You're not going to the Grammys. You're going to an art exhibit. So dress like you're part of the exhibit. Look like you just walked off of the Met stage. You know what I mean? Like you should look like you are on display in this museum. And Harris Reed, girl, I didn't know who you were before the Met. I'm gonna be completely honest, but now I'm obsessed with you. And I can't get enough. It was everything to me. Next up on my best dressed list is Janelle Monáe. Now, Janelle Monáe is no stranger to looking fabulous. Every time she steps on the Met steps, she looks fantastic. She always like takes that risk and she's not afraid to do a little out of the box. And she looked fantastic. Also, we love queer representation on the carpet. She identifies as non-binary, so she does go by she, her, they, them pronouns, which we just, we love someone who is including us in the culture. And I loved this look, showing some skin. It just looked so like delicate on her. It looked very like just like, I don't even know the word. I just love the way it fit her body. I love the way it showed some skin. The shoulder piece was really the star of the show for me. The way it kind of just like, it looked like it was like blowing in the wind almost, and it was just like frozen in time. I absolutely loved Janelle Monáe's look. 10 out of 10, no notes. Not that I can give you any notes. I'm wearing an Old Navy sweater right now. But that being said, my next up on my list, I already mentioned her once, but Nicki Minaj. I mean, come on. The little yellow dress, the little bob, the flowers all over it. Like this was giving Garden of Time. I loved it. It gave me like Pink Friday Nikki vibes, kind of like cutesy and cartoonish and just like giving that like playful energy that we all grew to love about Nikki in her early days. She's still super playful, but back in 2009, Nikki was wearing some crazy shit in a good way, and that just kind of gave me that vision again of like, you remember her VMA look with the really tall hair. She used to do crazy, crazy outfits. And this just kind of gave me like the grown-up version of that. It was colorful, it was bright, it was different than what everybody else is wearing. It wasn't a gorgeous gown, it wasn't anything crazy, but it was just so perfect. I loved it. I love her. Fantastic look. She was absolutely one of the best dressed last night, hands down. And the final person on my list is Miss Mindy Kaling. Now, this dress wasn't anything like crazy over the top as far as like the theme. It wasn't floral, it wasn't anything like that. But just the structure of it was so cool. I, for one, love Mindy Kaling. I feel like people don't love her that much. She did definitely get a little like overexposed. I feel like in like the 2014 to 2016 time, like she was getting shoved down our throats, but I love her and she looked fantastic last night. I'm obsessed with her. I thought she looked gorgeous. The dress fit her perfectly. The way that it like framed her around her, it was stunning. I was obsessed with it. 10 out of 10. Fantastic. And just for the sake of like time, that is my best dress. But of course, we have so many more looks to talk about, and we'll do that in my rapid fire in a minute. But before that, when there is a best, there has to be a worst. And I hate to even start the list with a Mean Girls alum because you guys know how I feel about Mean Girls, how I feel about Lindsay, and I just feel bad talking negatively about any of the plastics. Amanda Seyfried, what were you wearing? I didn't get it. And I looking at it again today, I don't think it was the dress that I hated. I thought it was a cool concept, but just like the silver of it all, it was very much giving like Tin Man, which somebody who loves the Wizard of Oz, you would think I would love that, but it didn't work. I think it would have been a lot more fun if you kept the hair blonde and did like a bold red lip and let the dress speak for itself. It just seemed like it was like over the top, like going too far, which again, it is the Met Gala. I understand. But at the end of the day, like let the designer shine with the dress. And she did say like her team and her like her fashion team did steer her in the direction of the silver hair, which sure, if that's your vision, go for it. It wasn't for me. I did not love it. I don't know. It just I really wanted to be like, oh my God, she took a risk, but like sometimes the risk isn't worth taking. Next up is Lana Del Rey, which again, it hurts me to say this. And it's not, I did like a lot of her look. I would say like 80% of her look I really did like. I thought the dress was gorgeous. I mean, her face is just stunning. You can't deny she's a gorgeous woman. I hated the mosquito netting around it. What were you doing? What was the point of the net? I think if she would have taken that net off around her and just let the dress speak for itself and like have the rose, like she could have just had the rose in her hand. Like, I think it would have been a lot more easy to look at. I would just like, what am I looking at? And again, dress was gorgeous, her face was gorgeous, but the net really threw me off and I did not like it. It was not for me. And now the final person on my worst dress list. The last two I was able to justify and give like, okay, well, I liked this about it. I liked that about it. This one, I liked nothing about Sarah Paulson's look. I hated it. I didn't get it. I didn't think it was pretty. I didn't think any of it was good. And I usually love Sarah Paulson. Again, this is never, it's not, a reflection on how I feel about the person, because I honestly love the three of them. I really do. I am a fan of all three of them, like big fans. But I just did not like Sarah Paulson's look. I don't know what she was going for. She's not a fashion girl, so it's not like I was expecting her to show up looking like haute couture, but like, I don't know. It didn't do it for me, and it pains me because like it's Sarah Paulson. Of course I love the bitch, but it didn't do it. I didn't love it. And that is my worst dressed list. Now for some rapid fire. These I'm just gonna go through quick, give my quick little notes. And some of them I loved, some of them I didn't like, some of them were okay, some of them weren't on theme, some of them were like there's little reasons of why they're my rapid fire. But now that I've been talking so much about rapid fire, completely taking away the point of rapid fire, let's hop into it. First and foremost, Loewe. As a whole, every single person wearing Loewe absolutely killed it. Ariana Grande, Dan Levy, Iowa Debris, Omar Apollo. I loved all of their looks. They looked fantastic and they were all wearing Loewe. Chef's kiss, no notes. Favorite designer on the carpet last night. Jessica Biel looked insane. That dress was stunning. That pink color looked fantastic on her. Not a single note. Demi Moore, loved it. Thought it was so fun. I believe she was wearing Harris Reed because she did walk with her and it looked very similar to her outfit. So no shocker that I loved her look. I do think Harris kind of ate her up, but I really did like the look. It was fun. It was artistic. It looked like a piece of art. Absolutely loved it. Lil Nas X. I love this twink. I love him. He always just had so much fun with fashion. It wasn't necessarily the most on theme thing, but it was fun. It wasn't a black suit, and to that, I applaud you. Another twink that I love, Troye Sivan. Did not love this look. I just love him, so I have to throw him in there. I wanted him to go a little bit further. I wanted him to have more fun with it. You're gay. You're supposed to be doing like fun things like that. I just expected more. Whatever. Emma Chamberlain, obsessed. Fucking obsessed. This girl is allergic to looking bad. She literally always looks so good. And the way that she has literally gone from being a weird, quirky, awkward YouTuber to this fashion girl celebrity, no notes, fucking obsessed. Sabrina Carpenter and Barry. Okay, at first glance, I did not love these looks. I was like, they don't look bad, but I was just like, that's it. And then I finally saw the two of them together, which obviously they are my favorite celebrity couple. If you've been listening, you know I am obsessed with them. So the fact that they were on the carpet together, they were doing their, or not on the carpet together, but the fact that they did looks that kind of coincided and went with an Alice in Wonderland, which perfectly fits the Garden of Time element. I mean, though the Mad Hatter's watch, Alice is in the garden painting the roses. As soon as I saw the two of them together and it clicked, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. They are still my favorite couple at the moment. Obsessed with them. Now, this next trio are the Kar Jenner crew. I guess it was a quartet because Kris Jenner was there, but she was just being momager. So we're really just talking about the three girls, Kim, Kendall, Kylie. Kim, loved her look. Where was her waist? It was non-existent. That was insane. I am questioning the cardigan, and apparently we will get more BTS on the Kardashians next season, so we'll see why she had to wear that little cardigan. I don't think it took away from the dress that much. I mean, the whole point of it was the fact that she had no waist and giant hips and looked fantastic. I loved it. She's allergic to looking bad. No notes from me. Kendall and Kylie, they both looked stunning, but I expect more from them. Kylie, I liked the way that the dress cut her. She was wearing Oscar de la Renta, and it just like it really fit her really well. It was gorgeous. I loved the dress, but I wanted more. You know what I mean? Like you're Kylie Jenner. Give us some va va voom. But I guess at the end of the day, you're Kylie Jenner, so I'm not that surprised. Kendall looked absolutely insane. That just the whole look was stunning. But again, I wanted more. Give us a little more floral. Like I feel like they both could have done like more springy kind of thing. I don't know. Just, I felt like there was more that they could have done there. Next up, Miss Kiki Palmer. I already talked about her a bit, but the way that she did her look with the unraveling of time, I loved it. She's a fave of mine. I adore her. I think she is hilarious. She is stunning. She is just, baby, it's Kiki Palmer. What is not to love? 10 out of 10, no note. Another bitch that I absolutely love and adore, Sarah Jessica Parker. Carrie Bradshaw was out last night. She literally looked like she was going to go home and write a little column for the newspaper. I was obsessed with this look. I thought she looked fantastic. Again, I love SJP. I feel like some people are hot and cold with her, but I adore her. Absolutely loved her look. Another person that I mentioned already, Tyla. I mean, her dress looked like she was made of sand. It was so cool. And the little detail with the hourglass, she looked like a statue. She looked insane. I was obsessed. Just, fantastic. People saying they didn't get it, they didn't like it. I don't know what to tell you. Just like use your brain, put it together. She looked gorgeous. Next up is a duo that I need to talk about because I am obsessed with them, Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo. I will say, Cynthia Erivo's look ate Ariana's up. I loved Cynthia's look. Ariana looked absolutely fantastic too, but I just think Cynthia looked, oh my God, the little dragonfly in the back of her head, the flower petals all over her, out of fucking control. I loved it. And now Ariana's red carpet look, it was gorgeous. She looked stunning. I loved the little pearl moment and how it like had different colors kind of shining through it. It was gorgeous. I did kind of expect a little bit more from her, but she looked stunning. I'm a gay man. I love Ariana Grande. She can do no wrong. And her second look of the night when she performed, which we're not going to talk about her performance just yet. We're going to talk about it in a little bit. So stay tuned for that because I have a lot to say about that. But right now, fashion. I loved her second look. It was gorgeous. I just love the bitch, but I definitely think the way that the two of them did the black and white on the carpet instead of the pink and green, it still did that wicked kind of, opposites attract. Like Ariana was wearing an all white kind of thing. Cynthia was wearing the black piece. Like it worked. I love them. Give me more. I will never get tired of seeing the two of them together. Fantastic. And the final look of this rapid fire round, Miss Dua Lipa. I am torn on this look. Sometimes I loved it, sometimes I didn't love it. I don't know. I can't get a grasp of how I feel, but overall, she's stunning. Face card, 10 out of 10. I did like the look. I think she looked really, really good. I just sometimes when I saw it, I didn't love it, and then other times I saw it and I was like, oh wow, I love it. So I'm back and forth on it. Overall, Dua Lipa is just, I mean, the whole episode is pretty much dedicated to her. Stunning. I loved it. And that is our rapid fire Met Gala round. Wow, that was fast. It really wasn't. But anyway, the reason I did a rapid fire is because I am actually going to be a guest on my friend Erin's podcast, Shy Girl Sentiment. We are going to be recording a whole episode about the Met Gala tomorrow. So we're going to go more in depth about everything. We have a whole episode dedicated to it. So that should be coming out sometime next week. Stay tuned on my socials for that, and I will let you guys know when that's live so you can go check that out. But that is my Met Gala recap for the fashion part of it. Like I said, we're gonna chit chat about Ariana later because that sneaky little pop star, that sneaky little bitch. God, I love her. We will chat about that in just a little bit. But as for the Met Gala this year, what a fabulous event. It's so fun. Again, if you're listening to this in real time, like as I'm posting it, I feel like every time there's a big pop culture event, I'm like, wow, it's my first Met Gala, my first Grammys, my first Oscars. It's just fun to have like my first thing, pop culture things to recap on the podcast. And yeah, Met Gala number one, done. Fabulous. Absolutely loved it. And now we're going to move on to something else that I absolutely love, Gypsy Rose. Have you guys been seeing? What a transition that was. Have you guys been seeing Gypsy on TikTok? Because Hot Gypsy Summer is in full swing. Now, I predicted it. I said she got a new nose, she got some new ink, she has a new man, and the girl is hitting the streets. So Gypsy, if you're listening to Too Pop to Handle and you were just like giving me what I want, let me know. I feel like either you are listening, someone's filling you in because you were doing exactly what I, or maybe it's predictable. But I'm just gonna go with the fact that like Hot Gypsy Summer is here. If you haven't seen, girl is living her life. She is in LA. She was out and about. She got her glam done by no other than Alexis Oakley, which is like full glam. She was literally beat to the gods. She debuted her new nose, which like the nose job is nose jobbing. I'm obsessed. She is blonde. The girl is living her life. She went to Sir. Like she is on it. The girl knows exactly where to go. She is on trend. She's living her damn life, and I'm obsessed with it. She also posted a TikTok with her now man, Ken, who is her ex man before Ryan, her ex fiance at that. They dated, I've talked about this before, but they dated before her and Ryan, and they were engaged while she was in jail. He broke up with her and called off the engagement after the act came out, and now they're back together. I still am a little on the fence. I'm still a little iffy. I'm like, if you broke up with her then, how do we know you're going to be there for her now? But they're getting matching tattoos. They're posting these lovey-dovey TikToks. Like, you know what? If Gypsy is living her life, do your thing. Maybe it's just a fling. Maybe she's trying to get back at him and like she's gonna break his heart the way he broke hers. But we will see. She's posting with him. She's doing her thing. And I think the biggest thing that happened to me, Gypsy Rose related in the last week, if you know me, you know she revealed that Joe Jonas invited her to one of his Cup of Joe DJ nights back. I don't even know when this would have been, but apparently it was in New York. And she was about to get on a plane, so she couldn't go. But the fact that Joe Jonas DM'd Gypsy Rose to come to his DJ event, it just means a lot to me. If you know, I love me some Jonas Brothers. I love Joe Jonas and like Joe and Gypsy. Like imagine Gypsy going in the booth with Joe. I can't. I'm obsessed. Gypsy Rose is living her best damn life, and that's what I like to see. I want to see her thrive. I want to see her living her damn life. I'm obsessed. Gypsy Rose, keep it up. Next up on my list is actually something that I didn't watch, but I just caught some clips after, and it's just kind of like buzzy in pop culture, and I needed to talk about it because why are we booing Kim Kardashian at the roast of Tom Brady? Like, If you didn't see, there was a roast over the weekend of Tom Brady. And if you watch these roasts, you know, they get like big celebrities to come on, they do the roast. Everybody's kind of in on the joke. They just rag on each other. Kim Kardashian gets up there and is instantly booed, which just like when you think about the people in that room, I get it. They are not Kardashian fans, but like you're grown, I guess being a grown man doesn't really mean that you're mature. I just, I don't know. I was like, really? Like, why are we booing Kim? Like, I don't know. To me, it just seemed so, come on. Like, I love, there was a tweet, somebody was like, I wish Kim would have been like, all right, boo if you're a billionaire, because it would have been quiet. And it's true. Kim is up there. She handled it so well. She goes up on stage and just like lets it happen, like laughs it off. Netflix did edit it out, which I'm like, was that Kris Jenner working her Kris Jenner magic, or do they just like Team Kim? You know what I mean? Like, hard to say, but just like, why? On the other hand, somebody who should have been booed, Tom Brady. At the end of the day, it was a roast. I actually could give two shits about the fact that he made the joke about Taylor and Travis and the Chiefs. I just thought like it's mm, how do I say this without pissing off an entire community of Taylor Swift fans? I'm getting tired of every pop culture moment being about Taylor and her being brought up in some way. I understand she is she is pop culture right now. Like she's literally the biggest star in the world. I get it. And I preface it all the time. Jacqueline, my best friend, if you're listening to this, you're gonna text me right now and be like, why are you defending your opinions? You do it too much. It's your opinion. Just say it. But I love Taylor. I do. But the way that every single thing that people do nowadays is getting brought back to her. Sabrina's doing SNL. Oh my God. I hope she sings about the fact that Jake Gyllenhaal's the host. Can Sabrina just have her moment? Lana's walking the red carpet at the Met Gala. What's your favorite song on Torture Post Department? Can't we just and it's not Taylor's fault. This is not Taylor's fault at all. This is just the media knowing it's buzzy, knowing that she is what's going to get clicks and views and is going to stir up drama. Mind you, Lana Del Rey is standing next to Kim Kardashian, which obviously, like, people are going to run with that now. I just feel like we're getting to a point. I'll never get tired of the bitch. I won't. I've stuck through it. Like I know what it's like to have everything coming up Taylor, but like we're getting to a point where I feel like the world's going to turn on her, which you know what? Let it happen. Give me $150 floor seats again. I would love to be able to buy day of Taylor Swift tickets again in my life like we used to be able to do, because you can't do that now. Maybe this is good actually. Maybe keep shoving Taylor down everyone's throats and maybe we'll be able to like go to her show without having to sell an arm and a leg. I don't know. I just thought like Tom bringing it up, I was like, you could have just left it at the Chiefs. Like you could have just made a joke about Travis or about the Chiefs in general and not brought the whole eras into it. And I don't know. I was just like, can we not? Like, can't we just like, isn't there a joke about anything else we could talk about? I don't know. Maybe I'm unpopular. Maybe it's like, maybe I'm the problem. It's me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me. Whatever. But I cannot talk about this roast without mentioning the fact that Nikki Glazer is one of the funniest fucking people in the world. No matter what she does, she just is. She's hysterical. She was on Selling Sunset a few seasons ago, and even just like trying to buy a house, she was funny. She killed it. I didn't watch the whole roast, but the clips that I saw, obsessed. She absolutely killed it. And speaking of Selling Sunset, their sister show, Selling the OC, was back in action and it came and went in our house. We watched it so fast. Again, it was only 8 episodes, it was quick. I just have a few things to talk about. So let's get into some TV recap because, like, what the fuck is going on with this Sean and Austin thing? If you haven't watched yet, there's some spoilers, but Sean, we all believe Sean, right? Like we all believe that Austin absolutely tried to pull a move on Sean and have a threesome with his wife and Sean, and now he's overreacting because he's mad that people found out about it, right? Like this is typical straight boy behavior. You hit on a guy as a joke to see it's not a full joke. Like it's a joke, but you're actually kind of serious and you try to you're doing the bait. And then when people find out about it, you try to act like big and bad and tough and like, oh, I'm gonna beat your ass, bro, da da da, whatever. He absolutely tried to have sex with Sean. Like, they absolutely tried to have a threesome, right? We're all on the same page, right? Like, it's pretty evident that like Sean's not lying. Also, spoiler, Sean and Jarvis have left the O group, which I'm just like, did it really get that bad that they had to leave? Because at the end of the season, they were still there. They were still part of the group, but in real time now, they have both left. I don't know if they're working together, but like all I'm gonna say, they'll never make me hate Sean and Jarvis. I definitely had a rocky road with Jarvis. The first season I was like, eh. By the second season, I was like, okay, I love the bitch. And this season just solidified it. So I'm sad that she's not with the O group anymore and she won't be back for a season four because she kind of like was fantastic on the show. Like I just love the way she would like read a bitch down. And I don't know, I just something's weird about this Sean and Austin situation. Like the way that Austin was so mad. mm, Something's fishy. Something's weird. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you guys are thinking if you've watched it. And if you haven't watched it yet, watch it. Give me your thoughts because like just the way that Austin got so defensive. Like you there's a line. Like there's standing up for yourself and your wife and your family in a way that's like a respectable way as a grown man. And then there's a way of like, oh my God, this is gonna get out to the public. I'm on a TV show. Fuck, I didn't think you were gonna tell anyone. Now I have to go like super hard on the guy. You know what I mean? I don't know. Something's just a little fishy over in OC, and I absolutely think they were trying to link up the three of them, which no, do your thing. That's fine. I could care less. Do whatever you want. I don't care. But just the way that he was so defensive. I don't know. Seems a little weird, seems a little gay to me. But moving on to the next topic of selling the OC, Kayla and Alex. Alex Hall. Ugh. I really wanted to continue to like her. I really liked her season one. And through season one, I just was like, do I like her? Do I not? Like, I really liked her at the beginning. And then as it went on, I was like, oh, you're annoying. And then this season, I can't. The way that she completely lied to their faces about talking shit about Kayla on that podcast. And then when the podcast came out, she name drops Kayla and she was like, oh, I forgot that I said that. Be so fucking serious. Be so fucking serious. You don't name drop somebody on a podcast and forget that you name dropped them. Especially when the clip comes out, like the preview teaser. Like, uh, do you have memory loss? Were you dropped in your head? Like, what is. I know you have a lot going on in your head trying to juggle your two men, but like, you don't remember that the fact that you don't remember it? Like Liza Minnelli. Liza Minnelli. Come on now. And like good for Kayla for standing up for herself. I love Kayla. Absolutely love the bitch. I think she is everything. Her looks this season were out of control. The way she carried herself through the season, that fucking, what was it, $28 million house, which she did in fact end up selling, not on the show, but if you go to her Instagram, it's pinned on her profile. Good for you, bitch. That is a huge thing to do. Sell a $28 million house. Obsessed. But just the way that Alex completely lied to not only her, but to everybody in that group when they were, I think that it was at the beach. Either at the, yeah, it was at the beach. They were on the beach talking and just completely lies to them. Like, girl, did you not think it was going to come out? Like, you knew the podcast was coming out. Why did, I don't know. It drove me nuts. And just like her whole thing with with Alex and Tyler this season and Alex having the other guy and Tyler not knowing what he wants, but then wanting Alex and Alex not knowing what she wants and wanting Tyler, like it was exhausting. Straight people are exhausting. Like you guys clearly you pretty much ended your marriage was ended with you, Tyler, because of the fact that Alex was all over you. And now you want to sit here and act like you don't want to be with her. She wants to act like she doesn't want to be with him. Exhausting. Like, I don't know how they keep up with it. I really do not. It is insane. And I think we're at a point where like by season 4, if there is a season 4, like it'll be completely done. But I'm just like, this was a lot to watch this season of them like literally going back and forth and just not admitting what they wanted. We are adults. Tyler kept saying he's like 34, he wants to start a family. Then act like it. What what aren't you getting? What are you not understanding about like, hey, Alex clearly wants to be with you. You clearly want to be with her. Do it. You're 34. Like you said, you want to start a family, you want to start a life. Do it. I can't. I can't. I cannot. Ugh. And the final thing of selling the OC. Why was Gio on Kayla's dick the way that he was? I understand, sure, maybe somebody asked you for some marketing tactics, maybe somebody hit you up before that house went to market. That's not Kayla's fault. Why are you trying to sabotage Kayla having your open house the same day she's having one? What, like, the men on this show are so fucking lame besides Sean. They are so losery. There's, ugh, all of them. All three of them, Gio, Tyler, and Austin, just loser energy. Get off the show. I can't. I just can't do it. Can't do it. Drove me nuts. The three of them this season, I was like, you guys pretty much are essentially all having a threesome every time you're together. You're like obsessed with each other. Just stop. They were stirring the pot just as much as anybody else. And then they wanted to like cry wolf and act like they're bigger than that. And they don't do that, this and that. You guys were fucking drinking the Kool-Aid just as much as everybody else. Don't even try to sit there and act like the three of you weren't fucking three musketeers playing little blind mice. I can't. Cannot. The biggest eye roll to the three of them. Just like big loser energy. We're going from big duet energy to big loser energy with the Selling the OC men's cast. I can't. Overall, it was a good season. I did enjoy it. Was it the best TV I've ever seen? No, but it's telling the OC. It's never the best TV you've ever watched. But if you're looking for a quick little reality TV fix while we're kind of in this lull right now, go watch it. I would suggest it. Like, I still finished the season. It was still a good season. It wasn't groundbreaking, it wasn't great, but it was a good season, and I would recommend for just like a quick little trashy TV fix. And the final TV thing that we're going to talk about, ending the show the way that we started it, BDE. Big Dua Energy. Dua Lipa did double duty SNL this weekend. She hosted and she was the musical guest. And just like she can't release a bad song, she can't be a bad double duty SNL host and musical guest. She killed it. This episode was so good. I love her. Her performances were killer. She was so funny in the skits. It's got to be so hard to do SNL as a host or a musical guest. To do both, it's not a long list. Like there's not many people who get to do double duty like that, and Dua did the damn thing. Ugh, I'm obsessed with her. She looked great, she sounded great, she killed all of her skits. I loved it. I love that Troy introduced her. I like that was such a full circle thing. If you don't know, Dua opened for Troy on tour back in like 2016, 2017. That's actually how I found out about Dua Lipa. I went to go see Troy and she opened and I was instantly like, oh, she's a hit maker. She knows what she's doing. And lo and behold, BDE, Big Dua Energy. Up fucking sass. She killed it. But I have to take a moment to give Chloe Fineman her flowers as JoJo Siwa. If you did not see, which I feel like how could you not? It was everywhere. She did this JoJo Siwa I guess not reaction. She was playing JoJo Siwa in a skit and she fucking killed it. She looked the part, she played the part. It was so good. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. JoJo did react to it and said she loved it. She was like, this is iconic. And it is. And I think it says a lot about JoJo's character, the fact that like they were clearly making fun of her and it's SNL, they make fun of everyone. So it's not to be taken that seriously, but the fact that she didn't react and be like, "Oh my God, how rude, how disrespectful." Like she was in on the joke, she understood it, like she praised it. I have to give her some flowers too because like some people might react like negatively and be like, "Why are you making fun of me on this show?" Da da da. She ate it up. She understood the joke. She was in on it with them. Like it was just all around so well done and I was obsessed with it. If you have not seen this clip of Chloe as JoJo, just go Google it. It will send you into an orbit, and I absolutely loved it. And I think that is the perfect way to wrap up this BDE episode. But of course, we are not done just yet. Our final segment. If you are new here, I end every single show with a yes and a mess of the week. My yes being something I'm loving, my mess being something I am not loving. And just like I said, that Ariana Grande performance we were going to talk about in a minute, it is my yes of the week. It was rumored that Ariana was going to be the performer at the Met Gala, and we weren't sure. And then somebody asked her on the carpet. They were like, "Hey, are you performing tonight?" She was like, "Oh, that's a great idea. Like maybe I wonder if it's too late to like put something together." obviously alluding to the fact that she was performing. Ariana Grande, the pop star that you are. Oh my fucking god. First and foremost, the fact that we have videos of this performance, most people don't even realize that there's a performer at the Met Gala because we don't get videos. I think the only video I've ever seen of a performer inside the Met Gala was somebody snuck a video of Rihanna, and that's the only time I've ever seen a video of somebody performing. So to get all of these videos from Vogue, from the Met, from Ariana, they are just posting these videos non-stop. It's insane. And holy shit, this performance was nuts. She did one, two, three, four, five, six, seven songs. If you didn't see on her TikTok, she posted her intro and like her entrance. She got carried in singing Once Upon a Dream from Sleeping Beauty, which is just genius. The literal exhibit is called Sleeping Beauties. She just sounded insane. And then that transitioned into You. She did Seven Rings, The Boy Is Mine, We Can't Be Friends, Yes and she ended the set with a duet of her and Cynthia singing When You Believe, which is Mariah Carey and Whitney Houston. I mean, come on. Come on. Are you kidding me? Just like the fact that Cynthia and Ariana did a performance together and they purposely didn't do Wicked, but they still did an iconic women driven, they still did an iconic, like, female powered duet. Genius. They are saving those Wicked songs for the movie and the press tour. But I love the way that they are like lifting each other up this entire journey of Wicked. I'm obsessed. And I'm going to go on record. I'm going to say it. Ariana Grande has never sounded better. I know we had to take some time away from pop star Ariana for a bit, but I think her doing Wicked and being Glinda and really just like training her voice the way that she did, she's literally never sounded better in her life. I need this bitch to go on tour yesterday because the live vocals that she was delivering, I'm obsessed. I am fucking obsessed. Ariana Grande, you are such a star. If you have not seen these videos, go to her TikTok. She posted a bunch. It's fantastic. It was truly unreal. And wrapping up my yes and moving on to something I am not loving, my mess for the week. Drake and Kendrick Lamar, what is going on? I'm going to be fully transparent. I don't know what's going on because two grown men fighting like this is just, it's crazy to me. If you don't know, they have been releasing diss tracks like they are going out of style about each other the past week or so. They have beef, I think, from like years ago, and it's kind of just like bubbled under for a while. And I don't know. Again, this is like, I'm fully admitting I don't know. I should know more, like being a pop culture enthusiast and hosting this podcast, but just like, what is going on? Like, why are they still releasing diss tracks about each other? Don't you guys have things to do? Don't you have like Drake has a kid? Like Kendrick, I, I don't know much about them. I used to be a really big Drake fan. I still like his music, but I don't follow him as much. I don't listen to him as much. It was like a more like Young Money vibe, back in the day with like Nicki and Wayne. I loved that Drake. Kendrick, I appreciate his music. I appreciate his art, but it's just not my style. I'm very girly pop, you know. But I can appreciate the fact that the two of them are like fantastic artists, but I just don't keep up with them. And the fact that I'm seeing so much hoopla about these diss tracks, can we grow up? Like, I feel like another theme of this episode, besides big Dua energy, is big loser energy from these grown men. Like, why are we fighting via diss track? Oh my God, I think it just clicked. Drake and Kendrick want to be Nicki and Megan so damn bad that they are literally releasing these diss tracks about each other. That must be it. I mean, who wouldn't want to be Nicki Minaj and Megan Thee Stallion? Like, I get it. I mean, Drake even had the BBL. Like, I understand he even wants their body, but I'm like, what is going on? Can we stop releasing these diss tracks? And like, men used to go to war. Go do something with your life. I don't know. Because like realistically, if these were two artists that I like cared about and was in on the beef, I would be all for it, and I'm the first to admit. But I'm just like, guys, guys, come on. Like, is it that deep? If it is, like, let me know. Like, I know that there's like things getting thrown around, Kendrick calling Drake a pedophile, like all of these things like it is I believe that there are layers to it, but I'm just like, Kendrick released like 6 tracks in 2 days. Like, who even has the time to do that? Did you eat? Did like I don't know. It is just it's so crazy that they're still going. I think they've slowed down with the tracks. I don't know. Like maybe they've cut it out finally. They like went to their timeout corners and like, got their shit together. But I'm just like, why? What are you doing? And whose side are we on? Like who are we siding with? Like there's always like a general consensus. What's the vibe? Tell me, let me know because I don't know. I genuinely I don't understand it. I don't get it. What is happening? Usually I'm the one with all the deets. Usually I'm the one to be like, "Oh, well, this person said this on December 8th, 2007, and then this person responded on January 15th, 2008, and now 10 years later there's da da da." But this I'm really flabbergasted this time. Like, why are these grown men writing songs about each other? I think they just need to kiss and get on with it. Like, I think they might have a crush on each other. I think they might have feelings for each other and they just don't know how to express them. And if that's the case, Pride Month is a few days away. We are so close. Just come out. You know what I mean? Like, if that's what it is, come on over. Like, we accept you and your limpy wrist, boys. Like, put the pens down, grab a pride flag. It's fine. It's okay. You can have a crush on each other. But, like, enough with the songs. Like, come on. You've damn near released a fucking album of diss tracks at this point. And that being said, that is the end of the show. I just like, what is going on in the world? Anyway, that is the end of our show. Thank you guys so much for listening to this week's episode of Too Pop to Handle. If you guys like what you heard, make sure you leave us a 5-star rating, leave us a little review, tell me what you're thinking. If you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button, give us a like, drop a comment. There's so many things that you can do on YouTube. And like I always say, it's simple math. If everybody listening to this hit that share button and sent it to one person, we would double in listeners. It is so easy. It is so simple. Share the wealth. Share it. You know what I mean? I'm giving you quality content. It is an hour of a gay man laughing at himself, talking into a microphone in his living room. What more could you ask for? I don't know. I don't know what else you could ask for. And with that, I will catch you guys next week. Bye.